Hello Steelers, and welcome to this very special, very quick video that I'm just going to put out there, because I'm sure there's definitely people who are desperate to see some of these in the flesh, so to speak. This is the new Warlord AWI range, or some of them anyway. They just very kindly sent me out some of the samples of the sprues. So what we're going to do in this video is have a quick look at them and just have a look at what the detail is and what kind of stuff you expect to get on here. Now, you're not going to get a history lesson here because I know nothing about the AWI apart from that it happened. But there are plenty of people out there who know their onions when it comes to this particular war. What I have seen online is that quite a few people have said that the British weren't fighting in lines for very long in the war. Arguably, that is only the same as somebody producing a set of 1940 Germans, you know, and then and not expecting them to be used in the entire war. So these can still be used, I think. They can also be used as well. I mean, those people that don't want to use them for the AWI can probably also use them for other wars as well. I've seen, I think, the 7 Years' War has been mentioned because uniforms are relatively similar throughout this period. As I say, don't take that from me. I'm not the arbiter on the history of this. I've just seen this discussed elsewhere. So let me just have a quick show you what we've got. We've got a couple of I think these are the Continental sprues here. I'm going to show you these in a bit more detail in a second. Just quickly go through what we've got. This is a British Army 1.1 sprue. We've got a British Army 1.2 sprue. Now already this is something that I actually like, because this is something I kind of had a bit of a complaint about with the Napoleonic stuff, is you only get one sprue of British infantry and one sprue of French infantry. You've already got two different sprues there, and you've also got British Army 2 as well, also known or Hessians. So there's another sprue as well on top of that, and then the final one we've got here is British Army 1.2 as well. So you can see there's quite a mix of stuff in here already. There's obviously a little bit of, from the Hessians and the British point of view, there's obviously a bit of crossover from uniforms and that kind of thing. I can't immediately see. No, there's a couple of cavalry in here, I think. There's some cavalry here. We've got a couple of units there. I don't think there's many cavalry in this, but there weren't many cavalry, I don't think, in the American War of Independence anyway. We've got a few head swaps, a few other bits and pieces in here for command crew and stuff, and we've got cannon as well up there on top of that. So I'm just very quickly going through this. The American stuff, they've got skirmishers by the look of it. Also their guys in line as well, but they've also got a couple of cavalry figures or commanders as well on top of that. Right, with that quick introduction, let's have a look at each of these sprues and then just go through them one at a time. Right, so first up we got these Continental armies. So these are obviously half the size of the British sprues. You've got, it looks like you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lines of infantry. So in a epic battle, or at least going on the Napoleonic stuff, that would be 2 bases. So in total there's 74 here. And then we've also got 1, 2, 3 cavalry or commanders. I'm not sure which they would fit into. You could probably make some quite nice cavalry units out of those, I think. But there's 3 on those. So 6 in total, and then you also have 4 skirmishers. And again, just going on the Napoleonic stuff that I've got, that would make at least a base. I mean, you could probably put more on if you wanted to and have fewer bases overall. But first of all, I'm actually looking at the design of these, and these are absolutely lovely figures. It's got to be said, these are really nice. I'm looking at the amount of detail that you can see on these. They've really upped the game, especially even since the Napoleonic stuff. That is fantastic. It looks there's a hell of a lot of detail on these compared even to the ACW stuff. I mean, every release has just got better and better, I think. And these are lovely figures. And again, obviously you can use them for whatever you want to do. There's the back of them as well, just to show you that on the other side there. And these guys, they look like they're standing to about 15 mil, thereabouts. So let's just have a quick measure of them, because I know most people will want to know that. There's one guy standing up there. He is, from top of the head to the base, 15 mil. Now, I'm just in the process of recording a chain of command game, so let's just pluck out one of our Germans here, and let's see how they are. Ever so slightly smaller, than the Germans. As you can see here, this is a Battlefront 15mm German, so there's about 2mm difference in these ones. They do look ever so slightly different, smaller I think, to the Napoleonic stuff. Again, I'm actually I'm just painting some British Dragoons, so let's have a look. Yeah, I think, look, if you look at that just ever so slightly, those Dragoons are just slightly bigger. So the Napoleonic stuff is ever so slightly bigger than the AWI stuff, at least. So this is probably settling back more into that what everybody calls 13.5mm size figure. That's Continental stuff. Let's have a look at the next sprue. Right, here we have it, British Army. This is their 1.1 sprue. So on this we've got the cannon. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 strips of infantry. I don't know how that's going to work. One of these is a command strip. Oh, actually, that's less. I think what you can probably do is mess about with these a bit, because they've included an extra figure there. There's a space on this command strip either for a flagman here, a guy carrying a flag, or for somebody carrying their muskets, so you can swap those around and make them look different. That's really nice, because that's something that doesn't exist on the Napoleonic stuff. I mentioned it as well, we've also got some heads here as well. I think they might actually be Native American heads, just looking at it from here. My eyesight is not great these days, so I'm just going to have to put my magnifying glasses on just to actually see what these things are. But they look like they might be, yes, they're Native American heads, so you can then swap those heads with the American skirmishers that we got over here, and then mess about with those and put those on, so you've got some Native Americans as well there. So there's quite a lot on that sprue. So that's going to be 5.5 bases basically of figures for again, if we're going down the whole route of the Napoleonic version, so on the bases. And what I've noticed here is some of these guys haven't got bayonets on their muskets, so they must be of a different type. They're looking a bit more like they're in campaign gear. They're a little less, bit more raggedy than these guys over here, the ones in the bicorns. Was it tricorn, bicorn, whichever one it is. And I can also notice as well there's a couple of different hats and things in there as well. Now I know some people I think have complained about the musket, the bayonets and the muskets being the wrong way around. I think, you know, if you could overlook that kind of thing, then this is quite a nice set. And what you've got to say really, I think, with these figures in particular, or these sets that are coming, this is a really nice introduction to playing large battle games, whatever rules you're playing. I mean, obviously they're going to be selling this as a version of Black Powder, but obviously there are other rules available out there which you can use if you want to. But yeah, these are they're looking pretty cool, these. I spoke too soon previously. Look, we've actually got some Native American skirmishers here as well. We've got 4 or 5 of those, so again a base worth, and we've got some other regular skirmishers as well. So I'm assuming you can use the head swaps on some of these guys to mix them up or whatever you want to do. Couple of cavalry figures. These are relatively monopose because I think you only get a couple in there, but again, the AWI wasn't really known for its cavalry. We've got some more bicorn infantry over here, another unit here with the command unit, and I think these are the grenadiers with the tall hats on here. Like I say, I don't really know, or you might, these ones maybe with the Busby hats. So you've got the different kinds of hats as well that these guys are wearing. This is a Hessians and the British Army sprue, so I'm assuming some of those come into the Hessian and the British Army bases. So again, there's quite a lot of scope to be using some of these. Obviously, if you're thinking about, you know, using them in another war like the 7 Years' War or something, for example, like that, some of the Native American skirmishers won't be useful to you, but there's still plenty of figures on here to get your teeth into. And then that final sprue is the British Army 1.2. So again, we've got a few more skirmishers on here. These more like irregular ones rather than actually the Native Americans, perhaps. And again, we've got loads more bicorn wearing chaps here. And again, we've got that gap in the middle of that command stand. So I think this overall is pretty similar to the other one, but it doesn't have the cannon on it. I think that's possibly the only difference here. let's just have a quick look and see what we get. We line them up. No, actually you get more guys in bicorns than you do on the other one, these fellas here, and you also have the cavalry, or commanders at least, and then also the skirmishers as well on top of those, and another command unit over here as well. Looks like an irregular command unit, if anything else, I think. So yeah, quite a mix of bits and pieces on there, just to show you the back there as well. So yeah, I think, again, just to go back to it, really, the detail that you can see on these, I don't know if you're picking it up on the camera, I'm hoping you are on the screen. You know, pause this video, I'll try and put it out in as high a quality as I can, but the amount of detail on these compared to even the Napoleonic stuff that I thought was very detailed is fantastic, and they've really upped their game as well. I think a lot of people are kind of moaned a little bit about the cavalry in particular not being particularly detailed, at least on the front, but these ones, I don't know what techniques they're using now for their sculpt. Well, the sculpting is probably 3D, but their moulding techniques have really improved with these epic releases. I just Warlord, if you're watching, please put more 1815 Napoleonics out, please, thank you. But I think the thing that I really like about these, whether this pushes me into another period or not is a different matter, but what I really like about these is the fact that you've got these two different sprues. So we've got the British Army 1.1 and the British Army 1.2, and it's a bit more of a mix and a match than it was with the Napoleonic stuff, because I think one of my, let's say, my slight bugbear with the Napoleonic stuff is that you get a cannon and a commander on every single sprue, so you end up with hundreds of commanders and hundreds of cannons, which, you know, you probably just don't need that many of. Whereas with this, you're getting a whole load of infantry, quite a few skirmishers in there, but you're also getting, you know, cannons as well, and a bit of cavalry. So just a, you know, a smaller amount of these things. Right, well, look, as I say, this stuff, I think I don't know if it's currently on pre-sale at the moment, or they are going to be announcing it anytime soon, but that's my impressions of it, just to show you these various things, just to show you the various sprues. And if you want to, please check out, in the description down below there is a Warlord affiliate link that you can pre-order this stuff through, and that will give me a little bit of kickback and help the channel financially. So I will I'll direct you to that. Go and just check that out. It doesn't cost you anything, but as I say, it just gives me a little kickback on any sales. So if you are interested in this stuff and you're wanting to pre-order it, please do it through that affiliate link. Right, that's enough advertising. I'll leave it at that. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have, let me know. Let me know what you think of these figures in general, actually. Like I said, there's been a lot of discussion about these anyway, from a historical point of view. I have no idea what they're, you know, I'm completely lost when it comes to the AWI, but I think from a manufacturing point of view, I think these are absolutely terrific and they look lovely. And I'll leave you with that thought, and I will see you in the next Storm of Steel video.